Alrighty. Hello everyone, my name is Victor Chang, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the weekly account report script that I developed. And my mentor was Dr. Sajadi, and he was a product owner as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Today I pretty much wanted to cover an overview of the script and how to maintain it, as well as some nuances and tips. Getting started with the main idea and goal of the script, it is pretty much to generate an HTML file which has the user's account report on it, which is built in HTML using JS for the charts and CSS to style it, and some Bootstrap as well. However, the file right itself is in MQL5, and ideally the point of the script is to initialize the beginning of the HTML file, then append to the HTML file as it's iterating through the trades, counting stats and whatnot. And then eventually, as it's done, finish out writing the file, close it out, and send it off using some FTP. Some of the languages involved would be HTML, obviously, since that is what the file is written. CSS is used to style it. JS is used for the canvas charts, and MQL5 is used for the file rate, as well as some other account information and collection. So let's go ahead and take a look at the script. We'll switch over to the virtual machine. And so over here we have some inputs and array initializations. Over here we have the account name. I believe it would be better if we went side by side, pretty much displaying the account name, the account number, and that is grabbed right over here. The account balance and equity for the bottom of the report. And here we have the current time, which is the period at which, or the point at which the script is ran at. And then below it we get a week prior to the current time, and below that we have 2 weeks prior. This is so that we can do the comparison and the profit, gain, and loss. Ideally, this is very important for the script because this value right here pretty much sets the period at which the script runs at. So if you want it to be a week, it would be that value. If you would like it to be a month, it would be something similar to this number over here. And this would be 2 weeks right over here. As you can see, it's just 2 times that. Later on, we create the names of the reports files. That would be the actual .html file. Then we grab the trades for the period of time, some array initializations. And here is where we actually have the head of the file, right, of the head of the HTML file, the title of the file, the weekly account report. We also have the beginning of the table, and the top of the file. So as you'll see, buy, sell symbol, close price, profit, that would actually be this whole part of the file. And then later on we're going to actually append to the file as we iterate through the trades, and then create the charts in the end. So let's continue. So here's the total number of trades. That is the number that we set when we got the trade history. Then we have the iteration per ticket. In the beginning, we iterate through the period, the 2-week period rather than 1 period. That way we can get the prior profit that is displayed in this chart over here, as well as the previous profit. So we add those to the chart sum and to the profit sum and continue. Else we are in the current period. So if it is a balance charge, meaning it is when the account is created, it is given a certain amount of balance, which you would see is this line right over here. It is styled differently, else we iterate through the trades. So if it's a buy or a sell, so you'll see right over here, buy or sell. Let's actually close this out. Continue. So then we create the beginning of the table, the first row, and iterate through the history, continue on, grabbing the volume, the time, the symbol, all of which slowly generate this table. Then, as the tables are, as the trades are processed, the table is built. You'll notice that if the trades are in the same direction at the same time, then there will be one row, or if they are closed at separate times, as in a volume of 5 is closed in 2 portions, it will be displayed as 2 rows in a closed time as well. That way the user can know more granular detail about their profile. And we continue with the script, each row will be closing and iterating on the loop right here. Then we close out the table body as the table as well, and call this function print charts. Now print charts pretty much takes care of this whole portion of the report, and it'll pretty much, as the title explains, print the charts based on values collected through iteration of the trades, such as an array holding each time a trade was performed on a 24 slot size array, pretty much representing each hour of the day, and the accumulation of trades for its respective hour. Some trades having to do with symbol, the total list of symbols traded, and the actual count of symbols traded, or the actual count of trades for that symbol, and another array holding the counters for the profits, negative and positive. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the print chart function. It's another HTML string, and this is pretty much a JS script which uses Canvas.js to create the beautiful charts. You can take a look at the Canvas.js link provided in the documentation on how to create these. Ideally, pretty much create a chart container, and then later on we have some for loops to actually add data to those charts, and using the arrays passed to the function. Then the charts are rendered, and they are added as divs, and the function returns this whole string to add to the file. And going back to where we were, we finish out by writing some account information: the balance, equity, opens, closes, and the previous profit, and close out the HTML file and do a file close. Then we write the other charts in the same format that we explained above to other files separately, and finally we send these off. And that is pretty much an in-depth breakdown of the script. And let's continue forward. So some helpful MQL5 documentation. That would pretty much be found in our Confluence page. Let's go ahead and take a look. Ideally, I want to cover this document, but I'll show you guys where to find it. So here is the original source for the idea, where they create a file report, and here's an in-depth explanation line by line of how to generate a script and send it through, how to generate a report using a script and send it to a server using FTP. Then we have learning Canvas.js, how to style with the Bootstrap table, and some other important MQ5 documents. Finally, we have some tips and nuances. I noticed that when you do a history select, you must select the period of time before you do a history deals total. So this order is very important. In your server FTP options, it is very important to have this enable automatics publishing reports via FTP enabled. This allows you to send to the FTP server. If you don't have this enabled, the script will not work. And if we continue, it is very important to only deal with one file at a time, as in only open, write to, and close a file at a time. In my script, I only deal with the main report file, and then I generate the other files after. So you'll notice I'll only do one file open, and I won't do another file close all the way until the end, and then another file open, file write, file close. So like I said, one at a time. And you might find yourself having trouble testing the JS portion of the script, only because you cannot print to this meta editor console because it is a file write. So I recommend doing console logs and actually checking the developer console by viewing the source and taking a look at the console over here. You can do console prints such as this one along the way using the console log function. Right away. And that pretty much covers all the nuances and tips that I found to be very important. If you guys have any questions for me, please contact me at vchan023@fiu.edu. My mentor was Dr. Sajadi, and a product owner as well. And here's his email. Thank you guys so much.